It's the first major festival of women in music in Britain. There have been other weekend events and individual concerts, but it's the first in Britain. And it will stand alongside others in Germany and the United States and Italy.
We've got to sort out this orchestra. The orchestra is the main thing, the main issue. I'm getting people coming to me and just asking for different things. What they're asking for is the Porterage one, which is on there. We need to know what you've actually agreed, Angela, with the MU on the contracts with Edwina Vernon and the MU.
It was only the fact that we had to use this agreement.
Yeah.
I think we've got to actually specify exactly.
We've had this committee of about a dozen people who've met solidly over the 2 years, and we've worked hard on building that programme, fundraising, which took an enormous amount of time. And we've just got to this stage. I don't know how, none of us have ever done a festival before. And here we are, selling tickets for something that we hope is going to happen tonight. Individuals have come forward and been part of our organisational group, and various different organisations have also lent a hand. I wouldn't say I felt as if the body of the whole town was behind us, but the people who were against us at the beginning, they've become very quiet, and I hope that in the end they'll realise that what we were doing was very good for the town, and Chard will have made history.
Well, we've seen today, haven't we, the effect. Hotels are full, people are walking down the street asking what's going on. We've had national newspapers phoning up, finding out what's going on.
You don't expect anything like this in Chard at all. It's lovely.
I think it's very good. I think it will raise pride in the community. And will, you know, small towns can be very turned inward. And I think for once we're looking outward.
This is the first festival of women's music in the United Kingdom.
Is it really?
First one.
The first one ever.
About time.
It's important because it's able to showcase so much excellent music that's been composed and produced by women. Together with Odeline de la Martinez, we've put together the first professional women's orchestra in the United Kingdom. It marks a really historic moment. It will also be the premiere of Eleanor Alberger's specially commissioned piece, The Sun Warrior.
I think we want to continue this. We want to form a board and form a proper orchestra, you know, with papers and everything, with the charity commissions and everything else. But we're also thinking even a little bit bigger. We're thinking about forming a European women's orchestra and really trying to encompass the whole picture. The problem is that I can see already in some countries they might not be interested. I mean, the French really are not interested in feminism or anything like that, but we'll see. They might just learn.
We felt it was very appropriate to commission a woman to write a piece. It's the ultimate honour, really, to be commissioned.
The second violas and cellos are doing it separate, and then you're asking them to do a legato, and it's just not working.
Well, that's fine. I don't mind, as long as we get a change of bowing here further on.
And you don't think racing in an octave will make a difference?
No, I'd rather not.
Okay.
The idea of the Sun Warrior was the idea of, you know, finding oneself. It's like an internal warrior. It's not someone sort of going around cutting people up or anything. It's an internal part of oneself, one's inner strength, searching to, you know, find out more about yourself or whatever. So it's all from my inner experiences. I didn't really think about it consciously. The first thing that happened was that I had a dream one night. And in the dream I was sitting at the piano writing music. But instead of writing notes, I had paintbrushes and I was writing colours. I was drawing colours over the page. So that gave me the first idea. So I incorporated colour in the composition. And then the next thing that came was the form. I haven't written anything down yet. I'm just thinking about it, well, more or less constantly while I'm asleep and awake. Once I start writing the music, it forms itself as you go along. There's like a place where intellect and instinct meet, where something just clicks and I feel, yes, this has to be like this, and I write it down.
One of the really exciting things for me about the festival is the total variety of music on offer.
It's 40 years I've been like this, just away. It's 40 years I've been like this, I've been a missus longer than a miss. And we're all bound for Tesco's in the morning. I met a lad for
Shanties in themselves came about through sailors wanting something to help them do boring and monotonous tasks and give them a rhythm to the task. And really the way Pat came up with that was to do the same thing with housework. Housework is a boring and monotonous task. A shanty is to assist you in undertaking this boring and monotonous task. So therefore it was something that fitted in with that particular element of women's lives.
all the work is hard and the hours are long. Cleaning, sweeping. All the work is hard and the hours are long. Dust away. All the work is hard, the hours are long, and I haven't any time to finish this song.
I would sooner be seen as a group that sings songs which are about women, which are for women, which are clued into women's experience and our collective experience.
Actually, it's very embarrassing. He wasn't.
I think somewhere along the line, in each and everybody else's life, there are a few similarities. There's somewhere where we suffer the same way. Our music, we talk about everyday life, the sweet and sour part of our lives. Cannot bore the audience about the political thing all this time, the message, you know. Somewhere along the line we've got to be happy. It's not all gloom and doom all the time. Yeah?
very awkward aunt called Aunt Gladys, who was in an old people's home, and we went to visit her, and I happened to have my violin with me, and she was in a towering rage when we got there. So we thought the only way we could really handle it was just play her some Christmas carols. It was Christmas time. And she, not only did she love it, but lots of people came hobbling in from surrounding rooms, and we said, do you ever have live music? I said, oh, no. So we made a sort of commitment that we would try and do this, that it seemed to be absolutely a no-go area for live musicians to go to old people's homes, and we'd try and do it.
We try to include music which will hopefully provide for all tastes, and so there is some classical, light classical, or even more classical if we can feel that that's right.
I was terribly touched when a woman danced right through a concert. I mean, everything. She danced through Ave Maria by Bach, she danced through everything. And at the end, the staff told us that she should be wearing calipers. She had nothing on her legs, and that woman didn't normally move without calipers, and I thought that was amazing.
Just like the earth, we all give birth, knowing both joy and pain. A baby cries, an old man dies, clouds open up with rain. Round and round nature's foundry, bound to the sound of time.
The workshop started only 12 weeks before the festival started, and many of the women had no experience of playing, or very, very little. I think what's great is that the band they formed for the festival performance, Female Intuition, is staying together and has 3 more gigs already.
She tries on a slinky dress, thinks she's Monroe, pads to the glass, the latest I show, life will fill her.
I'd always wanted to learn to play something, but never really had the opportunity. So this is a way of learning and finding out whether you enjoy it or not.
D minor 7. It's put your finger over there, and then this one goes there, and this one goes there. It's just like the open A minor 7, but with a, with a finger across a bar.
It's just nice to be in a relaxed atmosphere. I mean, I think being with lots of women, for me, I've played in lots of bands and groups, and it's not nearly so relaxed. There's a lot of tension with men around.
But what we could do is we could put a little sort of sax step in it, like the melody goes. And then you double it up when you've got that, but start off just with that, just very simple, just try that. When I was younger and started playing music, I wish I would have had the opportunity to join a workshop like this. I could have saved years of work I had to do on my own if I had someone, to show me. Especially, the nice thing is that it's straight into a band. You're not sitting at home on your own playing and trying things out. You actually have the chance to try it out with lots of other people.
be able to encourage other women to pick up instruments and play is what Meet Your Feet is all about. Actually seeing women playing on stage, it shows them that is possible to be done, and that would encourage them to say, well, you know, I'm sure I could do that if I tried.
When we make music together as women, there seems to be, it seems to work on a much more spiritual level. I mean, the experiences I've had of writing with males, it's very sort of clear cut, and they have very definite ideas about what they want, and they want to do it in a certain way. And although there is an element of that in Meet Your Feet in the way that we work, it's very much more a shared experience. I was very young when I first started playing drums, and because drums are sort of seen to be traditionally a male instrument, I found that I really wasn't encouraged to continue or to further my development in my playing. Girls just don't do that sort of thing was the kind of thing my family used to end up telling me.
Sandy, how much control did you actually have over the technical side of the way your music sounded?
This word produce is kind of misused, really. You don't actually have to have any technical skills whatsoever to produce. An engineer twiddles the knobs. You have to be able to direct people. It's one of the ways that men sort of elbow you out. Do you know what I mean? And you make you feel really inferior because you don't know, but I do know what I like. I have very strong opinions about what I like, and I have, as a communicator, I have very strong ideas about what I want to communicate. You don't necessarily have to have technical skills, but it's always incredibly good backup stuff, so that when anything goes amiss, you can actually get in there and do it, or you can think of a new way of going about it.
I think this one. Oh, right. Is it coming out of Louise's? Oh, right, sorry, I'll take it out of there.
If the mixing is very good, the audience is going to say, gosh, didn't the band play really well tonight? I mean, most people in an audience don't realise what good mixing is like, because it'll just sound like very, very nice, pleasant sounds. It'll seem completely natural.
Just going to change that mic on the snare, and we'll just do the top.
I think it's important that in the context of the group that you're in, that you work with somebody who's either part of the group and who knows the kind of sound, the kind of music that you're making, or that you're working with somebody who is sympathetic.
I just want to see how much piano we can get before feedback.
We kept saying, oh no, the guitars is finished now.
Okay.
But getting together for this gig, it's just been completely enjoyable, really. We know we're not going to have to go and do another 150 dates at the set. It's just for it's a one-off gig. And it's been really good fun. I mean, we're not intending to reform again. It's just to, be part of this festival. It's really nice.
Song for love, you sit all night. You said you know me, you brag. destruction of the love you do this all for love.
Guest Stars were primarily a jazz and improvising group, jazz in a wide sense, and I don't know whether a lot of women are attracted particularly to jazz because it isn't just a narrow kind of music. It can be that jazz Latin, jazz African, you know, between jazz and pop. You know, I think that's what really attracts women. Sometimes one can get the impression that there weren't any women involved in music before 1973 or 4 or something, and I mean, there have always been women playing in all these fields of music. You know, every field of music you'll find unknown, unforgotten women performers and composers, and it's extraordinary when you draw the list together, but I think that's why it's good to sometimes focus and say, okay, this is a Women Music Festival, really focus attention on women, because I think it's very easy to be, in the general scheme of things, for women to be very overlooked.
I like to think that it's going to have quite a big effect in Britain because it's been amazing how many people have heard about it. And really, nobody else has had the guts to showcase, for instance, over 40 excellent women composers.
I think it's a major achievement. I think it's the fact that something like this can start from a root level, a community doing it together, both men and women, and having a major effort like this, you know, creating a women's orchestra, bringing women's bands, promoting women's music. I think it's a major feat. And I think it's something that is going to change the direction of music in this country for years and years to come.